Welcome students in your political science class. Hope you all are well and maintaining social distancing. As you know, our politics in India since independence book is going on. In the last videos, we discussed about the first chapter, challenges of nation building. So in this video, we are going to start our second chapter. Chapter 2, Era of One-Party Dominance. The different topics which will be covered in this chapter will be: first one, the establishment of system of free and fair election, how the system of free and fair election was set up in India. Second one, dominance of Congress party after independence. How did Congress party set up its domination after independence, and the emergence of political parties and their policies. In the last chapter, we read about the challenges of nation building. How there were different challenges in the way of nation building. In the same way there was challenge of building democracy. Most of the independent countries of the world opted no democratic government. Why did they not opted democratic government? Because national unity was their first priority. But on the other hand, newly independent India selected the difficult path. India opted democratic form of government because our freedom struggle was deeply committed to the idea of democracy. Our freedom struggle leaders committed to set up democratic form of government in the country. Democracy is not a problem for Indians. It is a way of solving problem. Through democracy, Indians wanted to solve all their problems. So they set up democratic form of government in India. Indian Constitution. Constitution is the supreme law of a country, according to which the administration of a country is being governed. Our Indian Constitution was framed by one assembly known as Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly started its work on 9th December 1946. The Constitution was ready on 26th November 1949 and signed on 24th January 1950, but it was implemented on 26th January 1950. Why 2 months were awaited to implement the Constitution? It was ready in November, but it was implemented in January 1950. There was one historical reason behind it. On 26th January 1930, our national leaders celebrated that day as Independence Day or Puran Swaraj Day. So when the Constitution was ready on 26 November 1949, it was not implemented on that day. It was implemented on 26 January 1950 to make that day a red letter day, to recall that day. So we are celebrating this day as Republic Day. At that time, the country was being ruled by an interim government. The Election Commission, which is conducting election of India, that was set up in January 1950. So the first Chief Election Commissioner of India was Sukumar Sen. So when the Election Commission was set up, What were the preparation made for first general election by the Election Commission? And what were the requirements for conducting elections? First requirement was to draw the boundaries of the electoral constituencies. Here just see on your screen, one circle is there and different lines are there. These show the constituencies. What are constituencies? Constituencies means geographical area through which voters elect a representative to the legislative bodies. So different constituencies were set up by the Election Commission. That was the first requirement. Second one, preparing the electoral rolls or voters list. Voters list consists the name of all the eligible voters who can give vote. Third one, to give training to the polling officers. So all these were the requirements for conducting elections in India, but preparing for the first general election was a difficult task. Because why it was a difficult task for the Election Commission? Because at that time names of nearly 40 lakh women were not recorded in the list. They were simply listed as wife of or daughter of. The Election Commission refused to accept these entries. So in this way we can say the preparation for the general election, first one, was a very difficult task. Not only this, at that time there were 17 crore eligible voters to elect about 3,200 MLAs and 489 members of Lok Sabha. At that time, the number of members of Lok Sabha were 489. At present its members are 543, but at that time its members number were 489. Only 15% of these eligible voters were literate. Literacy rate was very low at that time in India after independence. Only 15% of eligible voters were literate, others were illiterates. First general election, a big test of democracy. The first general election was a big test of democracy for a country like India, who was a poor and illiterate country. At that time, democracy was there in many prosperous countries, mainly in Europe and North America. Many countries of Europe had not given voting rights to all women. Only men were enjoying the right to vote. Not universal adult franchise was practiced in world at that time. So in this context, India's experiment with universal adult franchise appeared very bold and risky. You know what is adult franchise? It means when all adults, those who are above the age of 21, can give vote. So Indian editor called it the biggest gamble in history. Organizers, a magazine, wrote that Jawaharlal Nehru would live to confess the failures of universal adult franchise in India. So it was a biggest challenge for India to conduct democratic election in that time. Features of first general election. First general election was held from October 1951 to February 1952. This election is referred to as 1952 election. It took 3 months to complete the whole process, like campaigning, polling, and counting to be completed. So when elections whole process was complete, it was noticed that elections were competitive. There were four candidates for each seat. For one seat there were four candidates, so it was very competitive. The level of participation was encouraging. More than half the eligible voters turned out to vote on the day of elections. So the level of participation was also very high. The voters turnout was high. More than half of the eligible voters, they had given their vote on that day. The results were accepted as fair even by the losers. So elections were conducted, were free and fair. In this way, we can say the election of 1952, which was the first general election after independence, they became a landmark in the history of democracy all over the world. Election results. When the first election was conducted, Congress won the election at the central level. So many other parties were there. As you know, in India there is multi-party system. There are so many parties at national and state level, but at center level, Congress won the election. Total seats at that time were 489. Just see on your screen. Total seats were 489 and Congress won 364 seats. CPI, Communist Party of India, won 16 seats. Others means all the opposition party, they secured 125 seats including CPI. So we can say the Congress party won the election at the central level. At state level, Congress party won a majority of seats in all the states also, except Travancore, Cochin, today's Kerala, Madras and Odisha. Even in these states, the Congress formed the government. So the party ruled all over the country, both at the national and state level. So who became the first Prime Minister of India? Jawaharlal Nehru, who played a very important role in the freedom struggle. He became the first Prime Minister of independent India in 1952's election. Congress dominance in the first three general elections. So how did Congress set up its dominance in the first three general elections? First one was held in 1952. Just see on your screen, students. First general election 1952, second 1957, third 1962. So in 1952, when the first general election was conducted, Congress won 364 seats out of 489 seats. In the second general election, out of 494, Congress secured 371 seats. In the third general election, the total seats were 494 and Congress got 361 seats. So in this way, Congress won 3/4 seats in the Lok Sabha election. None of the opposition parties could win even 1/10 of the number of seats won by the Congress. So we can say Congress won 3/4 seats in the Lok Sabha election. Not only half, but 3/4 seats. In the state assembly election, the Congress did not get majority in Kerala in 1957. Except in Kerala in 1957, in all other state assembly election, Congress also secured highest seats. So a coalition led by CPI formed the government in Kerala. What is coalition government? When two or more parties join together and they form their government, that government is known as coalition government. Just see the map on screen. Congress dominance 1952 to 1967. Here yellow portion. See the yellow portion on the map on your screen? In all the states, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, in all these states, Congress set up its dominance. In all the state assembly election also, Congress got the highest number of seats except Kerala. Just see red color. Red color is given in the Kerala where the CPI formed its government. Say blue color, sky blue color is there in Jammu and Kashmir. That in Jammu and Kashmir, National Conference set up its government. So in all the states, Congress set up its dominance from 1952 to 1967. Domination of Congress. The victory of the Congress was artificially boosted by our electoral system. Electoral system means that system by which the elections are being conducted. The whole process include the electoral system. The Congress won 3 out of every 4 seats. After 4 seats, Congress won 3 seats, but it did not get even half of the votes. For example, just see on your screen, 1952, when the first general election was conducted, the Congress obtained 45% of the total votes. Out of 100, only 45%, not 50 even. But it managed to win 74% of the seats. How did it manage to win 74% of the seats? This is due to one system. First past the post method, which you read in your previous class also, which is being adopted in our country. What is there in this system? In this system, the party that gets more votes than other parties, they tends to get much more than its proportional share. If we add up the votes of all the non-Congress candidates in India as compared to Congress, it was more than the votes of the Congress. But the non-Congress votes were divided between different rival parties and candidates. So this is exactly what worked in favor of the Congress. This is due to the first past the post method that Congress set up its domination in center. Reasons behind the victory of Congress. What were the reasons which led to the victory of Congress? First point, the Congress party had inherited the legacy of the national movement. You know, our national leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, they played a very important role in the freedom struggle of the country. So it was the only party that have an organization separate all over the country. This party's organization is there in all the states in the whole country. This party had the most popular and charismatic leaders in the Indian politics, like Jawaharlal Nehru. They were charismatic leaders. Their personality was very much liked by the people. The party had a broad manifesto. Manifesto means policies and programs of the party. This party had a broad manifesto. So these were the reasons which led to the victory of Congress. Communist victory in Kerala. In assembly election of March 1957, the Communist Party won the largest number of seats in the Kerala legislature. The party won 60 of the 126 seats and had the support of 5 independent candidates also. The governor invited E.M.S. Namboodiripad, the leader of the Communist Legislature Party, to form the ministry. So he became the chief minister of Kerala in 1957. belonged to CPI party. On losing power in the state, the Congress party began a liberation struggle against the elected government. When the Congress did not win election, then the Congress party began liberation struggle against the CPI party in Kerala. In 1959, the Congress government in the center dismissed the communist government in Kerala under Article 356 of the Constitution. This article is related to the emergency powers of the President. Under this, the President can dismiss any state legislature by the help of this article. So this decision proved very controversial and was cited as the first instance of the misuse of constitutional emergency powers. So this decision was very much criticized by the opposition party that they should not dismiss the state legislature under Article 356 of the Constitution. So in this way we completed the chapter up to Communist victory in Kerala and dominance of Congress in the country after first, second and third elections. So next part of the chapter we will complete in the next video, which will consist the different opposition parties, their manifestos, their policies. So all of you have to complete this work, note down the important points in your notebook. Stay fit, stay healthy. Thanks.